Home thoughts, nothing behind me, everything ahead of me, as is ever on the road. That's, of course, Jack Kerouac. But we were in the Samburu, and this is a photograph of Hannah sitting in the front with the Seroni's Lepayon. My piece over the weekend touched on this a trip to Samburu, and how everything is being Ubered. Hannah, my 10-year-old, and I had been yearning to get out of town, see the Milky Way, go somewhere where there was a road and we would not know what we were going to find around the corner. And what I found is that those sorts of journeys always start at Wilson Airport. I had wanted to go to the north into Laikipia, and we decided to go to the Samburu. I've been thinking about global warming, and in many respects, and a little counterintuitively, the Horn of Africa has become a sort of epicenter of global warming, imperiling 19 million pastoralists in the East African region. I met Mrs. Douglas Hamilton on the flight, and she said Cookie Gulman was recovering. I'd been reading Aidan Hartley's articles in The Spectator, where he spoke of prowling the nights, waiting to hear warnings that his fence had been breached. And I'd read that livestock in Kenya had surged more than 60% in 6 years. Our population is expected to top 80 million by 2050. The knee-jerk reaction of any trader would be to think, how do I short this thing? I've recently read that the opposition leader had said the following to the Times of London: these ranches are too big and the people don't even live there, he said. They live in Europe and only come once in a while. And I do believe once you start degrading titles anywhere, all titles get degraded very quickly, and therefore that is a slippery slope. It was a beautiful experience at Seroni, which sits in the Kalama Conservancy. As I interacted with our Samburu driver, Lepayon, a Maasai who was in charge of the front office, and various other folks who came from the smaller tribes, I asked about the drought and was probing as to how everyone was going to adjust. One fellow said, "We're sending our kids to school now." They would have previously been looking after the livestock. Another fellow said, "When I get a day off, I go back to my village and tell them about global warming." I asked Johan, "How old is this landscape?" And he said, "Look, it's really ancient. The Rift Valley Formation is just like yesterday in comparison." And I thought to myself, we're all getting Ubered, whether we are in Nairobi or right at the frontier, like the now parched Ewaso Nyiro River. And we all need to work out strategies so that we don't end up like Kodak. This is a photograph of some flowers on the way to the Seroni camp in the Samburu. Then a photograph of some elephants crossing the now parched Ewaso Nyiro River. I came across a superb article in The Economist in praise of pachyderms. Conserve elephants, they hold a scientific mirror up to humans. According to George Wittenmeyer of Save the Elephants, a Kenyan research and conservation charity, an average elephant living in and around Samburu National Reserve in northern Kenya ranges over 1,500 square kilometers during the course of a year and may travel as much as 60 kilometers a day. They can use novel objects as tools to obtain out-of-reach food without trial and error beforehand. This is a trick some other species, such as great apes, can manage, but which most animals find impossible. Have a look at this. This is Martha, the one tusk matriarch in the Samburu. Here's a photograph of the sunset in the Samburu. On our first day, on our first trip, we came across this male lion who crossed from Laikipia with his brothers and had hooked up with the lioness who was indigenous to the Samburu. and really it was a tremendous visit and plenty of food for thought.